So this is page 81 in your textbook, and we need to talk about some vocabulary. If you should know at least these noun-verb pairs. So these are when we have a noun and a verb that are not exactly the same, but they look similar. This is possibility. And there are some that the noun and the verb look very different. For example, we'll take decide. Decide. I can decide to do something. I made a choice. I decided to do it. And what was it that I did? I made a decision. You should know the phrase. To make a decision. Okay? So if I try really hard, I can imagine something. I can imagine if I have a good, what thing do I need? So I can imagine. I need a good imagination. If I have that thing, that noun, that imagination, then I can imagine things. So I can, you could say about somebody that he or she has a good imagination. Maybe it's a creative person. Inform. I can inform somebody about something. I can inform you. I can inform my students that we will have no homework and they will be happy. I can give them this piece of this information. I can give them this information. There is no word in the English language, informations. Information is not a countable thing. We don't have one information, two information, three information. No. We have information, and it's like a group. We can have a lot of information, or a little bit of information, no information. We can have bad information if somebody gives us some bad intelligence. Elect. We can elect a new president at an election. ELECTION, at an election. We can invite someone to your birthday party. Yay! We can invite someone. We will send them in the mail. We will send them the people an invitation. An invitation. TION, invitation. If we, some people organize events. The people who organize the events are organizations. Or if I organize my things, then someone says, "Oh, Mr. Bushy, you have such great organization." Educate. I'm a teacher. I educate. Well, I hope. And you are a student. What do? You learn, I hope. Educate people so they can have what? They can have an education. Maybe sometimes I am not a good teacher. Maybe sometimes I confuse my students. If I confuse my students, I look at their faces and I can see their faces. I can see a lot of confusion. That sounds like a j. Confusion. This is an education. Be careful. Organization. Invitation. Election. Information. Imagination. Decision. J on decision. Okay? And we forgot one. Opt. I can opt to do something. If it's optional, something can be optional. That means I don't have to do it. It's not necessary. It's not required. It's optional. I can opt to do it, or I can opt out. I can also opt out, which means I don't want to participate. Now, so this is my option. I have an option. It's nice to have options. If you give people options, then they can choose. Okay? They can decide. They can make a decision. Be careful. You need to know, make a decision. Okay? So, the difference between nouns and verbs. So, pronunciation. This is on page 80 in your book, page 80. And you will need to know some of these for your next test, I think. Okay? So, we'll start with number 1, and I'll say the words, and you just think about it, and you decide which one you think sounds different. Okay? And I think you can kind of see here the IGH, the I, and the I are the red ones. Sorry it didn't come through on the video, but they're a little bit lighter color, you can see it. So, bike, bike. Might, buy, smile, since. Bike. Might, buy, smile, since. And if you chose since, good job. Train. May, train, may, fail, key, break. Train, may, fail, key, break. Sounds like E is different than A, right? Next one, number 3, put it up here. Phone, no, although, trousers, won't. Phone, no, although, trousers, won't. If you chose trousers, that one sounded different to me. Hope my English is good. British pronunciation, American is a little bit different. Ear, hear, idea, engineer, wear. Ear, hear, idea, engineer, wear. Where doesn't sound like ear, ear. Tourist, tourist, shore, bus, Europe, curious. Tourist, shore, bus, Europe, curious. Bus. That's the last one.